Birmingham United has made it up to the Premier League, but we're now the lowest rated club in the division, and we're sitting in relegation territory as we enter January in 18th place. And to make matters worse, Liverpool wants our star player Arthur Bowden, and the player tells us he grew up a Liverpool fan and he wants the move. We're not going to keep a player against his will, so we make the tough decision to let him go. We accept the deal, and the player is now in talks with Liverpool to work out a contract. And in the meantime, we have 30 million to spend, and we need a replacement signing. Now, I've been trying to bring back our former wonder kid, Jazzy Parker, to make a return here, and I'm not giving up. Jazzy's handed in a transfer request and wants to return to Birmingham, but AC Milan are asking for 50 million, and we won't have that money until the Bowden deal is final. So for now, we're just waiting for this deal to be done. So we include him in the lineup against his future club Liverpool in the very next game. We're gonna stick with the 5 at the back formation that worked well for us last time, but even though we start this game pretty defensive and try our best to avoid conceding, against top teams like Liverpool, it's always gonna be difficult for us, and they score the first goal of the game. But we're still well in this, and with a counter-attacking system against the high press, we managed to find the late goal courtesy of Arthur Bowden, who is playing what's very likely to be his last game for Birmingham United and scores against the club he's moving to. With everything on the line here late in the game, only seconds remaining, Birmingham United clinging on for dear life as we look to get the ball out, but that high press from Liverpool catches us out and we're seen out to a defeat despite our valiant effort here. 2-1, another loss. But Bowden manages to stay for one more game as the deal continues to be worked out in the background, this time against bottom of the table Arsenal, and Bowden scores a goal that sees us scrape together an important point. We are only 5 points off of survival, with Birmingham City our next opponents, and Arthur Bowden is still working out a deal with Liverpool, and that's good news for us because it means we'll get to put him in the lineup in this next game where we stick with the 5 at the back that's been working against the 5 at the back of Birmingham City. The only problem is these tactics of sending long balls through and looking to hit on the counter don't work as well when the team we're playing against is also sitting deep and looking to do the same against us. We have one solid chance, but it's not converted, and then a little counterattack from Birmingham City does manage to find the back of the net, and so far, our tactics have not worked here in the first half. So we're switching it up at halftime. I'm going to a 4-3-3 system. We're gonna drop deep and not allow them to play those counter-attacking balls in behind, while we are gonna be patient in possession. I think in this level, we have to learn how to be flexible and change our game plan depending on opponents, and the message for us here in the second half is just to be patient. We know Birmingham City wants to really sit deep and absorb the pressure, so if we just wait for our openings, I think they'll come. And then the little ball over the top for Matthew Hobbs finds our opening goal of the game to level things back up. 1-1, we're back in this. The tactical switch seems like it's worked, and we are totally controlling the tempo of the game here in the second half. We continue to move the ball around and just wait for additional chances. Lopez looking to play that ball through, and Joelinton finds the back of the net. We score the winning goal of this game for 3 huge points against our rivals, and this time it came from the team and the tactics rather than a star player like Arthur Bowden. It's a reminder that to succeed up here in the Premier League, we have to work together. But we're still 5 points off of survival as we come into the final days of January. As we approach deadline day, I managed to loan out some of our young players, Freddie Best and Kareem Amraoui, who were so great last season, definitely need to develop a little more before they're ready to play at this level. With deadline day ticking away, only 10 hours left, what is going on with this Bowden deal? Well, the news finally breaks. Arthur Bowden failed his medical at Liverpool, and after some thinking, they decided to not take the risk of signing him because he's been injury prone for seasons now. Now, it means Bowden's going to stay with us at least through the end of the year, but understandably, the player is crushed and his morale is low. And without the extra income, it means we can't have our dream return for Jazzy Parker to the club. But it's still important that we use the transfer budget we have available because as things stand, we're getting relegated still. And I turn towards a budget alternative. Diego Vargas, another one of our former players who's been lighting it up in the championship and might be ready for a step up to the Premier League. Now, he had some off-the-pitch problems for us when he was younger, but he's grown and matured over 8 seasons now, and I'm willing to give this player a second chance. He tells us he's matured as a player and a man and promises to help this team if we decide to sign him. Now, this one might be a bit more of an impulse buy, but we pull the trigger and now we've got our new player. And Diego Vargas is greeted by his former captain, now our assistant manager, Liam Morgan. This is a bit of a riskier signing. He hasn't been proven in the Premier League yet, but we know there's quality there. And we're gonna look to use our new player, going back to the riskier 4-3-3 formation against a top team like Manchester United. So we go out there with some enthusiasm, really trying to bring the game to United and play an attacking style, but It's a little sloppy in possession, and it's a reminder of why we've been switching to 5 at the back in games against big teams like this. And then we're dealt the first blow as United basically walk through our back four and score the opening goal of the game. And unfortunately, that's not all. We concede a free kick only minutes later, and then coming towards the end of the game, a third goal seals the deal, and I think it's fair to say we got our tactics wrong in this one, and it costs us. Well, we didn't see much of Vargas on his debut, but we tell everyone, watch out, because this signing is gonna be important for us. We're still on the border of the relegation zone, but with 5 big points to make up, we have to do better against Spurs. So I'm going back to the 5 at the back system that works against these top teams, and I'm actually going to start Vargas up top with Hobbs and give Bodin the chance on the bench to just get his head straight, because his morale has hit rock bottom after that failed transfer, and he is looking in a pretty negative way right now. But I feel pretty good about having Vargas up top. He's an extremely skillful player with insane dribbling. His only downside is he's a small guy and pretty weak, and if he wants to succeed in the Premier League, he's going to have to prove he can deal with the physicality up here, or he won't be able to become a top player. So with Diego Vargas looking to make an impression in his second start, this time as a striker, oh my god, that physicality comes into play, but that's a reckless challenge from the Tottenham defender. It's only a yellow card. I think it should have been a red. But I think players are aware he's extremely skillful, and to make up for that, they're trying to play to his weaknesses by giving him some rough treatment and hoping that it'll shake his confidence. But Vargas somehow carries on uninjured after that challenge as we continue to try to find a goal and be positive going forwards. And I think Tottenham, sensing that they might be on the back foot, get even more aggressive, and this time our captain, Matthew Hobbs, goes down injured after another pretty rough tackle. Well, we didn't plan for this, but with Hobbs having to come off, it's gonna be Arthur Bodin coming on in maybe an unlikely partnership with Bodin and Vargas, both wingers by trade, playing up top as strikers together. And it's pretty clear from the get-go that these two might have some good chemistry between each other. The link-up play is looking good, and Bodin, it looks like this partnership might have just energized him enough to start looking dangerous once again. As we go into the second half, it's clear there might be something there as we look very dangerous. However, Tottenham actually find the opening goal of the game. Against the run of play, we've actually been very good, but unfortunately for us, we find ourselves a goal down, and now we're looking to get back into this with Vargas and Bodin still linking up, and then Arthur Bodin finally converts. It looks like his confidence is back, and we're on our way to salvaging some points out of this important game. And I gotta say, it's been all thanks to Diego Vargas. Like I said earlier, a bit of a risky signing, but he's offering an insane amount of flair and creativity that we haven't seen since probably Jazzy Parker left. Now, we couldn't get Parker, but he's been a great alternative, Diego Vargas. And I think if he can just work on his physicality a little bit, there's no doubt he's capable of making this step up to the Premier League. We settle for a draw on this one, but all things said and done, that's not too bad. Now thankfully, Matthew Hobbs' injury is pretty minor. He's gonna be back in the lineup for the very next game. And as the season carries on, Diego Vargas continues to be electric. What a great signing he's been. But we're not always finishing at the end of these moves, and despite his excellent footwork, he's not scoring many goals either. He's just setting teammates up. We're unable to finish a lot of these chances, and it's costing us points with another draw. But honestly, the draws add up, and keeping clean sheets, especially where we're at the table, is something we'll take at the moment as we grind our way towards getting to safety. And then Diego Vargas continues his outstanding bit of footwork, finally converting a goal. This guy's been absolutely toying with defenses since he joined, and if he can start converting chances like that, I think we're gonna have a really good chance at climbing our way back up the table. With 9 games remaining in the season, we're still 5 points off of safety, but we go up against Newcastle next, and this game is important for both teams looking to survive. Now our defense has been looking really good for the most part since we've gone to 5 at the back, but unfortunately for us, mistakes are still gonna happen, and Sean Gibbs with the red card there, and now down a man and having lost all the momentum, it's time for the team to be mature and show that even though games aren't always going to go in our favor, even when the cards are down, we can be gritty and find points where we can. And we do manage to hold Newcastle scoreless for an important point. The important thing for us this season is going to be to stay flexible, but either way, Vargas needs to be starting, so it'll be him and Bodin up top, and I'm going to play Matthew Hobbs as an attacking mid because his passing is so good. When we play 5 at the back, this could work. And the chemistry continues to build. Bodin and Vargas looking good up top, but honestly, all the players are getting involved. And Lopez here with the filthy assist for Arthur Bodin, who uses his pace so effectively, scores the opening goal of the game. But we're not done there. The team is starting to get hungry for more, and we're looking to really finish the season on a high note. Brooks Lennon always getting involved, and then another assist from Lopez, who's doing so well for Joe Linton, and that is a big win for a team that is in desperate need of some points. And with 6 games remaining in the season, we are 1 point off of relegation. This is going to be a fight to the very end. We've been doing much better defensively in the second half of the season, and that entire backline is playing so well. We're actually keeping consistent clean sheets. And with the link-up play looking really good, overall, I'd say the team is doing a great job. But sometimes it's just not our night, and although we created a bunch of chances, we do drop points again with another 0-0 draw against Leeds. Every single point is going to matter here, and the team is looking to capitalize on an early lead. Can we find another victory? Well, Diego Vargas is bowled off of that one, but Michael Golding has his back. The team's working together, and even though Vargas might need to work on his physicality a little bit, it pays off as the rest of the team backs him up, and his creativity has been the catalyst for a really strong finish to the season here. But then a loss to our rivals Aston Villa, who do manage to turn things around after that first game against us, sees us put back in jeopardy. This is gonna come down to the wire. Only 3 games remaining in the season. We are 3 points clear, but Birmingham City have a game in hand, so we can't count on anything just yet. But the defense remains resilient, and as we're desperately trying to find the go-ahead goal here, Diego Vargas, for not the first time this season, shows that physicality is still his weak point in this league. The technique is amazing, but he's bundled off of the ball. It ends another goalless stalemate, and at this point, it's becoming our specialty. Well, it all comes down to this. 2 games left, and a win here would guarantee us survival. This is everything we've worked for. Survival's a must, and we need a win. Everything is on the line, and we're gonna be bold and go with 4 at the back against the weakest team in the league, Arsenal. The pressure here is huge. Now, I don't know exactly what happened to Arsenal that makes them so bad in this career. Seems like they sold all their best players and they've had a huge downfall, but they've already been confirmed relegated, and we need to make an impact here against a demoralized side that we should be able to control the game against. The team is starting to link up very well, and as we go on, Diego Vargas pulling all the tricks out, and it's beautiful build-up play, and Lopez comes so close to opening the scoring. We just have to be patient here and trust that we will be able to deliver. It is sad to see Arsenal in such a lowly state, but they're offering almost nothing going forward, so we just have to pick our moments and wait, because I'm pretty confident a goal will come if we keep playing like this. We're dominating proceedings, and that's saying a lot, because we are not the strongest team in the league by any margin. Diego Vargas cutting inside, looking to have a shot at goal. It's so close, but nothing yet. Guys, we need a win here, and the pressure is starting to mount a little bit. Arthur Bowden plays through Lopez. It's beautiful movement from the team. Looking for the ball at the back post. It's Diego Vargas with the overhead kick. That is spectacular. Our goal of the season by a landslide. Well, if there were any questions about his ability to take it to the top level here in the Premier League, I think those have been answered. Diego Vargas is a superstar. That goal wins us the game, and most importantly, it means we're staying in the Premier League another season. Safety is now guaranteed. What a roller coaster. And it's also a good thing we won that game, because on the final day of the season, Manchester City give us a reality check with a 4-0 victory, Haaland scoring a hat trick. Man, we got a lot of work to do to get towards the top of the league. So it's confirmed we're staying up with a 16th place finish, and Birmingham City are going down along with Newcastle and Arsenal. I don't know how those 2 clubs fell apart. Well, Arthur Bowden didn't get his Liverpool transfer, but he finished the season as our best player with 13 Premier League goals. That's really solid. With players like Matthew Hobbs and Diego Vargas contributing a lot as well, it's important we keep a hold of this core team going forwards. And our young players did really well out on loan. Kareem Amraoui grew 9 overall points and could be in contention for a starting spot. And so is Freddie Best, who's been in and out of this squad for seasons, but could have a future here at Birmingham United. And we've also got stars like Caio Correa, who didn't make a lot of noise in the second half of the season, which is good because he's secretly grown into a really solid center back. We'll take on another season shortly, but in the meantime, check out my Patreon if you want to download the official Birmingham United mod and play with the team yourself. Thank you so much for all the support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.